I love these kind of conversations, Victoria, because it really, you're looking at not only what's going on now, but we have to still have that future focus, right? And think ahead. Because if we don't think ahead, that was something even with higher education and K through 12 when AI was, becoming at the forefront. I've gone to so many webinars and ones about corporate too. And they said if for those corporations and those institutions that don't incorporate AI somehow and come along, figure out how it can come alongside what we do, they're going to be left behind. And I was like, yep, that's right. They're going to be left behind in a bad way. And then it's going to be harder to incorporate it when other corporations and other institutions are already incorporating it. So the institution that I work for, they don't want to police students when it comes to AI because, like you said, we have to make sure that the workforce is prepared for that. So in what I do in higher education, where I even have my students doing an assignment. You would love this assignment. This is actually where they work on situational leadership and they look at the situational leadership model as instructional designers. So it's really cool because it bridges business and education together. But they have this assignment. I actually graded a couple of them, so it was really fascinating. You would love this. And so they actually use an AI tool like ChatGPT, and we give them in the assignment prompts for four different readiness styles. So they have the R1 through the R4, and then they take that prompt and they put it into ChatGPT. ChatGPT is supposed to act like an employee, and then the student is supposed to be the leader, not necessarily always the instructional designer, but just the leader that's working with them. And they have that dialogue with the AI as if they're the leader, and it's really neat. And then they give screenshots of their conversations with each leadership style, and then they write a reflection about what went well, what didn't go well, what they would do differently next time, which one was easiest and hardest to work with. So it was very interesting because the leadership styles were the readiness styles were all different. Some needed more hand holding, some just needed more support. So it's very interesting. It's a cool type of assignment. I'm really loving it. So I'm like, this is great. Yeah. So we're really preparing them for the future. And then another assignment they have is where they have to take this fake technology company, and they're having to build a policies and procedures e-learning module. And then they have to take the ChatGPT or whatever model they're using and work some of that through. And of course, it's not the final product, but they work some of that through and kind of have that dialogue with the AI. And then it helps them kind of build that e-learning. So I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool too. So yeah, it's pretty amazing how I'm seeing the intersection of business and education really come to the forefront and preparing my students for the future, because I'm like, it's not going anywhere. It's here to stay. For sure. So it's really great. Some of them are still nervous though. They're like, how much can I use it? And I'm like, we just have to make sure it's ethical. Whatever we're doing is ethical, and that we cite it properly and all of that. So it's nice because the institution is not about policing it. It's more about if we find something because AI detectors, as we know, are just not good. They don't do a good job of really detecting, and that's not our job to detect that stuff. So but if I see a concern in something, I can talk to the student and say, hey, can you show me your work a little bit, or how did you get to that? And then it's more of a conversation, and it's not accusatory, but it's more inquiry, right, finding out. And so I think even in business, that's something too that we can look to, because we have subject matter experts that we work with, and in business we do this too, right? We work with subject matter experts that we can help formulate what we're looking to do. So we always have to remind them, this is not what I'm giving you with AI is not, this is a draft. And we need your help to formulate it. That's why we have you as a subject matter expert. So it's very interesting to kind of see the dynamic, like you said, and looking at AI as a assistant, a digital assistant, or a collaborative partner, right, in that process.